I'm Ryan Barton, and I'm going to talk about my little brother. Many moments have changed my life and shaped who I am, and one I would like to share with you is the birth and life of my little brother Will. I have a younger twin brother, but I do not consider him as much a younger brother as I do Will. His life may not appear monumentally important to others, but he has personally had a huge impact on my life. The day he was born, I remember promising my dad he was completely wrong when he predicted I would inevitably beat him up, as I could not fathom hurting the little dude. As it turns out, I was wrong about this, but what I did not even begin to foresee was the impact my little brother would have on my life, both in how I live my life and also just the joy I derived from watching Will grow. The first two areas where Will has truly impacted my life have been the process of watching him grow up. Physically speaking, he was always a little man, 4 years younger than me, but he has grown a great deal in the past few years. As his height slowly surpassed my own, his strength has progressed much more quickly. I knew there was a problem when he was finally able to pin me against my will. He had always been a pretty good athlete, but he has really begun to fully exert himself in his training. He began last year's football season being allowed to merely suit up for varsity games, to starting middle linebacker in the state playoffs. One of his last phone calls to me, he informed me he had just set his squat record at 3x2 sets at 405 pounds, which I don't even know what that looks like. I don't say this to brag about my little brother. In fact, as an older brother, it can be a bit unnerving and slightly embarrassing to see one's younger brother succeed so much so quickly, and I don't like to readily admit this. But Will's progress in life has been a pivotal moment for me because it makes me extremely happy to see my little brother come to a place in the world where he does not need his big brothers constantly at his side to watch out for him. I see a very competent and able kid who will undeniably make it in the world. To see him exert himself and succeed and act humbly about it helps me understand how I ought to live and gives me joy few other things in this world can. Besides his physical growth, my little brother has become much more mature over the past few years. Thankfully, he is a sharp student who cares about learning, but also cares about other people. He is a very practical man, asking questions when he doesn't understand, and willing to take into consideration the world around him. I'm glad to see this in my little brother, as he has not matured into a narrow-minded person, but a wise and judicious kid. Of course, not in all respects because he's only a junior in high school, but he can hold a pretty good conversation with just about anybody. The importance of Will's mental growth stems from my present certainty that he will eventually be able to work through many problems and choices he will face in the world from a level-headed disposition. It always makes an older brother or sister feel pretty good to know their younger sibling will make it. The second area where Will has greatly impacted my life is in teaching me how to live. He and I have vastly different personalities, as he is definitely the more relaxed and less stressed between us. Ever since he was a little kid, he has shared his surprisingly sagacious advice with me for taking things easier and not worrying so much about the inconsequential problems I may be dealing with. Of course, he never worded his sentiments to me in this way, but in his own way. For instance, if I'm angry or stressed about something, Will assuredly will come by and prod me into wrestling with him or something, which always leaves me more calm whether or not I lose. He will be sure to give me a ton of crap if I'm taking the world or myself too seriously, which always helps me to see beyond my own problems. Will's ability to see the big picture in life has helped me get through tough situations and to live with less stress and be happier with my daily life. Thus, my little brother has been one of the most impactful people in my life, whether he meant to or not. I never fail to have a great time with Will, whether we're playing sports, talking about something, or simply making jokes with each other. In a way, he has been a role model of mine as I have grown up, because he so often seems to have great insights about how to live better. I certainly help Will. I help him with a lot of things in life, but the favor is most certainly returned.